You've likely felt it. There's a low-grade fever that has infected our generation. A silent sickness of the soul, nameless in medical textbooks, but whose symptoms we all recognize. It's the restlessness you feel on a Sunday night. It's the exhaustion that comes not from work, but from the constant performance of your own life. It's the subtle poison that enters through the eyes and settles deep in your chest, always whispering the same lie. You are falling behind. We live in an architecture of mutual surveillance, a pantheon of glass screens where every life is a storefront. Every post, every photo, every status update is an offering at the public altar of validation. And we, in silence, watch which smoke rises and which dissipates on the ground, comparing our effort with the polished results of others. You see your colleague's promotion? You type, "Congratulations, well deserved," while a muscle in your jaw clenches. You ask yourself, what did he do that I didn't? Where was my offering lesser? The gossip at the coffee machine becomes a release valve, a way to dim the light of another so that your own obscurity doesn't feel so profound. And when the theater of the day ends, the second act begins. The glass prison of your cell phone. Every scroll is a blow, a litany of perfect lives that exposes every crack in your own. And the toxic question returns, stronger, louder. Why not me? You know it's an illusion, but knowing doesn't stop the feeling. Where does this hunger come from that makes us devour the lives of others until we feel empty? What is this program that turns us into bitter judges of others' success? We search for the answer everywhere, but they are all just describing the symptoms. To find the cure, we need the source code. The code running on your phone was written in a language of blood and dust. To understand your dissatisfaction, we must go back to the first time one man's success became another man's hell. We need to decipher the Cain Code. The story begins not with words, but with actions. Two offerings, two outcomes. Abel offers excellence and is accepted. Cain offers just enough and is rejected. The first Machiavellian lesson in history is this: reality judges the quality of your sacrifice, not your intention. As we explored in our analysis of Machiavelli, words are the mist, actions are the only truth. Cain's brotherly invitation to the field was the word. The murder was the action. The lesson is the same, written in the first act of humanity. Facing rejection, a voice asks, "Why has your face fallen?" It's an invitation to self-analysis. But Cain doesn't look inward, he looks sideways. The problem isn't his offering, the problem is Abel's. Stoic discipline, as we've seen, is the training to focus on what you can control, the quality of your own offering. Cain is the anti-stoic. He is the personification of the lower self that instead of mastering its own will, declares war on the success of others. His fallen face is the defeat in his inner war. Here, the code reveals its engine. Envy. Not the desire to have what the other has, but the dark desire that the other not have it. It's the logic of the resentful. If your light exposes my shadow, then I will extinguish your light. You might know someone who doesn't mind not having things as long as the people around them don't have them either. This dissection of the hidden codes of the human mind is our mission here at the Human Codex. If you find value in this approach, consider subscribing. Your subscription helps us immensely in reaching our first goal of 100 subscribers. Resentment conspires. The "let's go out to the field" is the mask of normality over a dark intention. In the field, far from the eyes of judgment, Cain reveals his true nature. He doesn't just kill his brother. He kills the mirror that reflected his own inadequacy. This act of Cain is the most violent manifestation of what the psychologist Carl Jung would call the shadow, that part of ourselves that we repress and which, when not confronted, projects onto others with destructive force. We will dive into the depths of this shadow in a future video. And when confronted, where is your brother? His answer is the anthem of irresponsibility. Am I my brother's keeper? He fails every test of character. And his consequence, exile, is not a divine punishment. It is the natural result of a life spent looking at others' altars, the inability to cultivate one's own garden. This is the Cain Code. It runs in our subconscious, fed by every scroll. But to understand a code is the first step to rewriting it. The antidote is not to defeat the other Abels. It is to make the choice Cain did not, to stop looking at the neighboring altar and to focus obsessively on your own. Take radical responsibility for the quality of your offering, be it your work, your art, your relationships. Deliver your best, not in exchange for validation, but as an act of personal integrity. Stop thinking about what you don't have and see what you already have. Value your achievements. This myth is the foundation. It gives us the archetypal why of envy. Later, in another future video, we will dissect the scientific how behind this poison and the practical strategies to defend ourselves from it. The true victory over envy is not to overcome your Abel. It is to become indifferent to his altar. It is to find peace and purpose in the fire you built yourself. The world will always have those whose smoke seems to rise higher. You cannot control that, but you can control the quality of your own fire. That is the only variable that matters. The first betrayal was Cain's choice to abandon his own garden to burn his neighbor's. That choice does not have to be yours. Thank you for staying until the end. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you want to receive notifications about our future videos, subscribe and activate the bell. Best wishes, and may God be with you.